Hi. Hello. Welcome. How are you? Are you in the Cologne by any chance? If so, enjoy. Hey, what's up, Diego? Long time no see. What is your scent of the day? Okay, good choice. My scent of the day was Yves Saint Laurent YO Fresh. Considering it's still quite warm out by me in early fall, I went for that one. But I got some decants and full bottles here to talk about. And I did a actual pretty good size fragrance haul. I bought probably 40 new fragrances. Hello. Hi, welcome. So with that being said, I'm going to get right to it. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. It's absolutely free and it helps my small channel out. Now, I probably did a video on this not too long ago, but I got Blue Day Chanel L exclusive. And I did have a full bottle, but I ended up returning it because I bought another Louis Vuitton fragrance. Now, this new one, it's quite pricey, and it's like, what, almost $300 for a bottle, and I still kind of pick up the original, but this one is more focused on more ambery woods, and that's about it, and I didn't feel like I needed a full bottle, so I ended up returning it. I was expecting something different from Chanel again. I was hoping for a whole new blue fragrance. And I guess I'm kind of tired of all these spin-offs. But it's still pretty decent. I like it. It's different, kind of eerie, light. It's dark, mysterious. Yes, it still has that DNA. I liked it, but I feel like I don't need it right now. And what my tattoo is, Louis Vuitton. No. I mean, with tax, I paid $296 for it. And there is far better fragrances out there at that price that I typically wear. All right, let me get out of here. All right, I am not going to have any political talk here whatsoever. I'm not doing that today. So I'm gonna put him in. Sorry about that. I'm not having any like political conversations here. This is strictly about fragrances, and I'm just not doing that today. But anyways, Diego, yeah, unfortunately, I feel like the new one is just a typical money grab, but everything in life is a money grab. I'm just not in the mood for any of this political stuff being talked about today on my channel. I'm not going to deal with it today. So, back to what I was saying. The new Blue Day Chanel, it's great. It's different. I was expecting more. Sadly, from less exclusives, no. But what I got my nose on today that a good buddy sent to me from Christian Dior that I'm really liking is Ombre Wheat Extrait de Parfum. This is totally my kind of stuff. And this one is very dark and resinous and mysterious, ambery. And I'm liking this one. And it's quite pricey, but I know I'll end up getting a full bottle. This one is like a serious banger. It's a compliment grabber. I'm liking this one a lot. I was checking it out earlier today, and I'm quite impressed with this one. I'm assuming this is from their private line, and I'm liking this one a lot for being an extrait de parfum. Yeah, this is beautiful. Very masculine. Definitely not juvenile. This is like strictly for the grown-ups. It feels very mature. I need a full bottle of that. Now, yesterday I went to Saks Fifth with my brother, and we checked out a whole bunch of different fragrances from Xerjoff, Creed, Roja, and Initio, and Exinilio, I believe it was called. And I decided to check out some other fragrances from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. And I ended up buying my second Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and it came with a bunch of free samples. And I was kind of happy what the sales rep gave me. Oud Satin Mood. I absolutely love this sample. And I'll end up getting a full bottle of this because I can definitely get down with this. This is like an oriental wood fragrance with some vanilla and rose and oud. This is my kind of jam. It's my kind of stuff. And this one definitely does last. Yeah, their Privé line is pretty darn good. It's just sadly people are crapping all over Maison Francis Kurkdjian. But I ended up buying this the other day. We got Aqua Media Cologne Forte. And it's a little over 200 bucks, but I'm happy to have it. I absolutely like this one. It's a really nice spring and summertime scent. Very fresh. Oh, nice. Yes, that is a good place to start when it comes to oud. Oh, before I get carried away here, I came across a Louis Vuitton oud fragrance, and it's not really on the website, but it's called Pure Oud, and I guess for people who are interested in that one, you actually gotta like text or email, but it's called Pure Oud, And I heard that one is like $1,600. And it's very animalic. It's got that barnyard, realistic oud to it. I was curious if you heard about that one, Diego. But the bottle, it's like black, comes with a black case. I'm curious to know what that smells like, but I'm not going to spend $1,600 some on a fragrance when I can really put that money into something else. And my comfort zone when it comes to buying fragrances is about the cost of Ombre Nomad. Anything over that, I'm not doing. It's just not worth it. So I had a friend from Instagram send me a couple of decants from a couple different houses I never even heard of. I think one is in Italy, and I think the other one is from Germany. But we have here is Jazz Milk by I Pick-a-Really. This is very boozy, floral, gourmand, thick, and creamy. This is strictly for the women. And I pick up like Bailey's, Irish cream, milk, cognac, rum, a tropical coconut, pineapple, some really nice sandalwood. It's a beautiful scent, but just not my kind of thing. But this other one here by Fraz Kadar, it's called Humidor. Now, what I get from this one really evokes the feeling of being in a traditional cigar lounge. And the dominant note of Spanish cedar, cute, like fresh cured Cuban tobacco leaves, sandalwood. I pick up this really rindy, crisp, like bergamot. And it has a nice leathery dry down. It's really masculine, nothing juvenile. This is definitely more of a mature setting. And this one was pretty good. So shouts out to L'Acqua Dolce Boutique for sending this my way. These are pretty good. Oh, you got Per Hombre, Per Oud, and Per Santo. What'd you think of those? Any good? Not worth it? So, yesterday, I did a little bit of video footage with my brother when I checked out all these different fragrances. Of course, I went to Louis Vuitton, went to go say hi to some friends of mine that worked there. And they ended up giving me some free samples, and I didn't even buy anything yesterday. But every time I go there, they treat me with respect. They're friendly, and they know me by first name. And they gave me some free samples. I think like 4 of them yesterday. Hello, Alicia. And I got L'Immensité. And they gave me Meteor, and they gave me Ombre Nomad, and a couple of others. But I'm curious to see how L'Immensité smells on skin. Oh yeah, that is really nice. Kind of leathery, definitely mature. Meteor, I hear it's, according to my brother, it's quite clean, simple, fresh, but I own Imagination, and I don't really see the point of owning Meteor, because I hear that one doesn't last as long, but maybe it's different for everybody else, but I'm liking L'Immensité. And I know I'll end up with a full bottle of that. So far what I own by Louis Vuitton, I do have Elves, Lovers, Imagination. I have the new relaunch on Sunsong, and I have Orage. But out of all of them, my signature scent from Louis Vuitton is Lovers. And I put a dent in that bottle already. And it's my second time having it. But I am really liking L'Immensité here. The sillage around me, it's really inviting. This is a beautiful scent. And I hear this one really performs very good. I have a sample of it. My brother owns a full bottle of Ombre Nomad. I did have Pacific Chill, but I sold it at the time. Eventually, I'll get that one back. That is really, really nice. I get like leather, maybe some citrus in there. That is nice. I think I'm picking up some grapefruit. I don't know. I am getting like leather. On my skin from L'Immensité, I'm picking like leather. So I'm assuming by those notes, something is causing a leather accord to come off my skin. I can see the rosemary. That's pretty good. Maybe the labdanum is giving me that, but I had Pacific Chill. A lot of all their other fragrances don't smell fresh to me besides, Imagination. Lovers smells more like green and ginger. Elves, that one is like floral in the opening, slightly femme leaning, but the dry down actually gets slightly masculine. Has a nice powdery vanillic dry down. It's pretty good. I love it. And it makes a nice layering fragrance with other floral dominant masculine scents, like say Zaharoff Rosé. That is a wonderful layered combo. All right, another one I got myself into is by a different house, a different fragrance. And this perfumer is known in Italy for making like the Pope's gowns. He has a famous store called Lavs. And we have something by Filippino Scorcelli. And this is called Sole Vio. And this one is quite took the cake for me. This one is a total different aquatic. The opening, I pick up like this limoncello, fresh cut lemon right like smacking you in your face. You pick up a little bit of spice, like some rosemary, I think Artemisia. And the dry down is where it gets really different for an aquatic. It's got frankincense, it's got amber. This is totally way different. And I think he only makes 50 milliliters. And this is from the Dolcissimo line, which is the cheapest. I'm a fan to have this. This is totally different than anything I've ever got my nose on. And I wore it not long ago. There's just something different about this one. And what I pick up in the opening is a beautiful, bright limoncello accord. with some really juicy peony. And then it settles down. It's very smooth. And for a niche fragrance, this is probably my favorite aquatic, because there's just nothing out there that is just like a surprise when you put your nose to it. Oh, man, is that so good. And one of my other subscribers who sent me some decants out of his personal collection, he got me hip to this guy. And Filipino Scorchelli's got some amazing fragrances. And I never smelled an aquatic quite like that. That is totally different. It's like unique, different. Any age can wear that. Whether you're like a beginner getting onto your fragrance journey to a cologne connoisseur, I can see women wearing that. It's pretty darn good. All right. So moving on to another one here. Speaking of designers, I ended up getting the new Cool Water Elixir. And I'm a fan of this one. And the funny thing is, I like this one more than the new Blue Day Chanel. I get this nice rose, metallic rose oxide. The oud here is quite well done. And I still kind of pick up that core DNA of Cool Water, but this is dark, mysterious, seductive, mature. But I can see some, people in their early 20s wearing this. This is definitely a date night scent. I'm happy I bought this. I found it on sale on Amazon. Hey, what's up, Joel? How's it going? And yes, you're wearing my arch nemesis. I've had YEDP, but I got rid of it. I don't know. I just couldn't get down with that one. I like the Eau Fresh way more. But this stuff here, I love this one for a designer. Beautiful scent. They did a fantastic job with this one. I'm happy to have this in my personal collection. And I thought I would do a first impressions on Zaharoff Rosé. This is, from what I hear, very masculine. So now, I know I've talked about this in my top 10 fall fragrances for 2025, but for some of my new subscribers or whoever's new to my channel, I thought I'd do a live first impressions on this. And this is quite masculine for a rose, and I really pick up a realistic Turkish rose. The dry down is quite churchy with some incense, and it layers really nicely with other fragrances. And that is quite masculine. So Claude Dare did a really good job with that one. I'm happy to have that in my personal collection, which is pretty good. If you ever get a chance, Joel, and you can find it by you, I highly recommend something different. You should check this one out. I really think you would enjoy it, since you always find different fragrance houses. This is by Filipino Scorchelli, and it's from the Dosissimo line, and it's called Solivio. And this is quite the difference when it comes to an aquatic. You should definitely check this one out and get your nose on it. I think you would like it, because that one just stuns me. How would you compare Amouage Lyric? I never checked out Lyric, so I wouldn't be able to compare that. And the only other new homage I got was Meander, and I'm saving that for another time. That one is quite special to me. But I hear lyrics pretty good, but that's not really on my radar at the moment. What's on my radar right now is I want to finish my collection on Louis Vuitton and get a few others by Mason Francis Kurkdjian. And then after that, I'm going to start with Creed. Yeah, I hear homage purpose is fire. Speaking of homage, yesterday I checked out Decision. I like Purpose 50 that came out. The new one, I like that. I want a full bottle of that. Decision's pretty good. Reflection 45, I gave that a second chance. I got my nose on it again. It grew on me. That is totally different than the original Reflection. So those three are probably my next to get off my list. Another one I checked out by homage is Lineage, which is a women's fragrance. I could see that one being unisex. That one smells quite amazing. Far as other fragrances I checked out, Apex Roja Eau Intense. That one truly stood out to me. And Elysium Parfum. That one stood out to me. Even though it's women's, it smelled totally different on my skin. All the other Rojas, I don't know. But that new Apex Eau Intense really caught my eye. I'm happy to have some free samples of that. And that is a good one for spring and summer. And then I checked out, finally, Initio, Side Effect, Narcotic Delight, Must Therapy. Those were pretty good. And a new one, I think that came out this year, maybe a few months ago. It was called Lift Me Up. That was quite different. That one kind of had like a pungent opening. I kind of picked up like this, some kind of accord that was giving me this thought of like a wine barrel in the opening. I don't know, but it was pretty cool. And then I got my nose on some Creeds. I checked out Absolute Aventus, Aventus EDP, and the original. And now that I know what they truly smell like, especially the EDP and Absolute Aventus, a lot of them clones still don't even come close. They may be similar, but they just don't come close to me. Then I got my nose on Millesime Imperial. Fantastic scent. And then I checked out Arofa. I really like that one. That is on my list. And then I checked out the new one from Creed. What is it? Oud Zahirian. That one is Dapper. Very masculine, heavy, dark. It's kind of like a seductive scent. I picked up some spices. I picked up the oud, but there was kind of this like sweetness in the background. And I really, really liked that one. That one really grabbed my attention. It smelled very good. That one does have a pricey price tag on it though, but it is what it is. Let's see, some new fragrances I did pull trigger on by Martin Margiela. We got, let's see here, Never Ending Summer. This one is truly evokes what a hot summer day is. And it's really got a bright orange. And I get that cocktail in here. I think it's called Apiola. It's like a expensive spritz cocktail. The dry down's really nice. This is so good. I'm happy to have this one. I paid about 170 bucks with it. They sent me a lot of free samples, and they sent me two mini samples about this big. I got Beach Walk and Under the Lemon Trees. I like that one a lot. I did a layering combo with that one not long ago, but that one by itself, it smells fantastic. As far as budget-friendly fragrances that I recently just got into, I got Offnon Rare Reef. This is quite the surprise. When I first put my nose to this one, I was like, oh man, you got to be kidding me. This is another really good Pacific Chill clone. And they did a really good job with this one as well. Aqua Difference. Maybe. I wouldn't know. DM me the name of that one and I'll check it out. But Rare Reef, they did a fantastic job with this one. I'm happy to have this in my personal collection. Now, what I like about that one, it kind of does go its own direction, and it has a little spicy tone to it, light spice tone. But overall, it has great sillage, projection, and longevity. And I would totally recommend that one to people who don't want to spend $300. I totally understand. But I still think Luciano Coastal Breeze is probably the best dead on point clone when it comes to cloning. But that one, I get maybe 6.5, 7 hours in longevity. Rare Reef, for me on my skin, I got close to like 8.5, and that's pretty good. I like that one more than Coastal Breeze by Luciano. It's just something different about that one, and I think it's the light spicy tone I get. Let's see here. And I know I'm late to the game on this one by Lattafa, and I saw it at TJ Maxx, and I said, you know what? I'm going to take a chance. So I bought Assad Zanzibar. This one is quite the character. I was shocked with this one when I first cracked it open, sprayed it on skin. It's resinous. And it's got a little bit of warmth in the dry down. I pick up frankincense. It's got a nice coconut, some spice. And the funny thing is, I'll admit it on live stream, I would prefer this one over the original Les Beaux. This is way better. And it's been a minute since I smelled this one. Man, this is a really good one. So I'm happy to have that in my fragrance collection for a budget-friendly fragrance. They knocked a home run. I don't even know when that came out, but I'm happy I came across it. I think I paid like $16 for it, and that one has great sillage, projection, and longevity. And when it comes to some of these Lattafa fragrances, I gotta give it to them. They do a pretty darn good job with some of their fragrances. Not all, but some that I can really get into, they do a good job. And let's see here. Now, I recently got into Guerlain, and I've been exploring a good one here. Hey, what's up, buddy? We got here L'Homme Ideal Extreme. This one is definitely a man's scent, not juvenile. This is quite different. I was not expecting what I was putting my nose to when I first checked this out. This has quite the punch. It's got a beautiful sillage here. I really like the almond in this one. Sorry that happened to you, sir, but I love 9 p.m. I don't know what to tell you. But Guerlain, L'Homme, Ideal Extreme. I get like this nice bitter almond. It's very smooth, masculine. And I get like, there's some tobacco, some spice here. Really, really good stuff. I wouldn't be able to tell you that because I never smelled Club D and a Wheat Urban Man Elixir. I like 9 p.m., the original. I love it. You know, fragrance is very subjective. Everybody has their likes and dislikes. 9 p.m. is from Offnon, and Club D and a Wheat Urban Man Elixir, yes, that's from Armaf. I never checked it out. I only like certain ones from Armaf. I don't like every one of them, and I just don't. Do I have Tres Oros? No. From day 3? No. I haven't got into day 3 yet. I want to, but haven't got around to it because I'm finishing my own collection with Louis Vuitton and Mason Francis Kurkdjian and other niche fragrances before I go jumping around. When I get around to it, right now, I'm buying what I like. You know, I used to chase hype. I don't do that no more. And I'm going for what I like and what I get into. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I never smelled it. And I never got in the riffs. Not my taste, not my thing. I prefer high-end designer and niche more than anything. Man, that is a good one. L'Homme Ideal Extreme. That's really good. Dior Sauvage. Some people like it, some people don't. It's too mainstream. I have the EDP. I like the EDP version a lot more. The Parfum version is really good. I checked that out. Dior Sauvage Elixir, I can appreciate. That has monstrous performance. I don't own it. And as far as that being said, I like the stuff from Dior from their private line. I like Ombre Nuit by Christian Dior, Extrait de Parfum. I'm starting to get into their private line stuff, the Privé, the more expensive stuff that I like. Thoughts on Offnon Supremacy Collector's Edition? I hear it's pretty good. Some say it's kind of like Absolute Aventus. I never smelled it. People tried to get me to buy it. I just never bought it because I don't want a bunch of budget-friendly fragrances in my personal collection. In fact, I sold 30 budget-friendly fragrances not too long ago. I had to get rid of them. What's the worst fragrance I ever smelled? Well, one in particular would be from Mason Alhambra, and I think it was their interpretation of BR540, and they did a terrible job. It was called La Rouge Baca Rouge, and that smelled like a spicy urinal cake. Absolutely horrible. I threw the bottle out, right into the trash. And speaking of that, when I was at Saks Fifth yesterday, I checked out some of the oud fragrances from Louis Vuitton. One in particular, someone on YouTube was saying it's similar to BR540 X-Straight, but better. So I went to go put my nose on it, and I smelled less, what is it? Les Sable Roses? Horrible. Didn't like it. And it does not smell like BR540 X-Straight. And BR540 X-Straight is a beautiful, pricey fragrance. Favorite Parfum de Marly? Well, I got my nose on Ojan and Castley yesterday. Very nice. Now, some say Castley is generic. I don't think so. But it could be redundant to Percival, Sedley, or Greenlee. But the dry down was pretty magnificent. I like it. What is my all-time favorite brand? It's kind of hard to ask, but that's a good question. Hey, that's cool, man. Phone call, you got to take your phone call. Hey, real life does come first, bro. Can you recommend me a fragrance that is sporty, fresh like shower gel? Totally super fresh. Drakkar Blue. I think the new one. It's slightly mature, similar to YSLY EDP, but it's soapy shower gel. Not very fruity. Doesn't last long, but it's still pretty good. For me, I think I got about 5 hours. In fact, I could grab it for you. I think Drakkar Blue, it was the new one. Another one, it's kind of soapy to me, is, oh, where is that one? Is that it? Nope, that's not it. But yeah, Drakkar Blue. This is a pretty good one. Another good one, you know, came in the other day is this one, YSLY Eau Fresh. It's still available. You could find it from Fragrance Villa. I think I paid about 70 bucks for it. And I like this one a lot. And Drakkar Blue is pretty good. And for something that's strong and long lasting, Al Hiramine Aqua Dubai, or Amber Oud Aqua Dubai. That's strong, long lasting, soapy shower gel scent. And what's another one? Their other one, Amber Oud Blue Edition. That's pretty good. Or if you're into, I didn't care for YSLY EDP Intense, not my thing. I don't know. I feel like the YEDP Intense, and Elixir, they overkilled it with too much ambroxan, and it was headache inducing for me. I sold them and got rid of them. I like the YSLY Eau Fresh way more, but the new YSLY Les Parfums, that's a nice one, but I don't have it because it's not really my current go-to, like I gotta run out there and buy it. Well, I mean, the ones I like that have that soapy shower gel vibe are the ones I like. And, you know, like I said before, I kind of stopped looking at budget-friendly fragrances. I'm just, you know, if it's worth checking out, I'll check it out. But hype, I'm not chasing hype. Not my thing. What do you think about Carolina Herrera Bad Boy Elixir? It's a pretty good one. I could have got it, but didn't feel like I need to have it. The Cobalt's pretty good. The Elixir, Cobalt Elixir, that's a pretty decent one for a designer fragrance. I could have bought it plenty of times, but what I like, I tend to grab more often, you know. I hate to say it, but I like Louis Vuitton way more for a designer fragrance. And Burberry Hero, I hear that one's pretty good. I never got to check it out. Maybe I will sometime. But, you know, I mean, my current go-to at the moment, asking someone who has a collection. That question is like asking a parent that has a few kids who they love more. Azzaro Most Wanted Parfum. That's a pretty good gourmand fragrance. Date night type setting. That one I smelled, it feels more masculine to me. It's pretty good. Wanted by Night is probably my favorite. What is that new one? Most Wanted Ombre Elixir, I think. I like that one a lot. And then I think that was the only one I really liked. I just never pulled the trigger on it like I wanted to, because what I've been getting into is what most people won't spend their money on, and sadly but true, I'm totally for Louis Vuitton the most. It's my favorite high-end designer fragrance, regardless of what people think. Thoughts on Amouage Opus Royal Tobacco? I hear that one is pretty good. I wanted to smell it. Maybe over the weekend I'll go up to Saks Fifth and check that one out and see what I think about it. I think a buddy of mine, not so famous YouTuber, he has that one and he likes it. But I hear it's pretty good. And I hear the tobacco in there is pretty realistic. No, I'm not, Diego. Never heard of it. Azzaro is a pretty good house. The only ones I have from Azzaro is what? Chrome Extreme, Chrome Intense, and what? I think Azzaro Pour Homme Sport. Boss Bottled Absolute. Oh, that is phenomenal. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Great for the fall time. Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. It's pretty good. I like that other one, Smoked Cherry. I like it way more. It's very smoky. My favorite Tom Ford is Tobacco Vanille. It's the only one I own. I would like to get Black Lacquer and Effin' Fabulous and Boyce Pacific by Tom Ford. That has a really nice turmeric note to it. And Ombre Leather Parfum, I hear, is pretty good. I haven't been really checking out Tom Ford all that much, to be honest. Other than the one I have, which is Tobacco Vanille, and who doesn't like Tobacco Vanilla? I mean, it's a beautiful scent. Very nice. I never checked that out either. Do I consider Boss Bottled Absolute or its general scent profile very popular, that you're going to smell it everywhere? I mean, for a designer fragrance from the Boss Bottled line, Absolute is probably my favorite that I got my nose on compared to the others. I still have yet to check the Triumph and the Boss Bottled Elixir. And I also got to check out some of the other ones. But since I got Boss Bottled Absolute, that's pretty good. And it performs. It has great sillage, great longevity and projection. When I got it, I wore it the first day, gave it a full wear. I had some errands to run. People turned their heads and asked what I was wearing, and I told them. And I think one of the people actually went on their phone and ordered it. So, you know, it's not like every day you're going to get compliments. But if you have it, that is a good one. But if you don't, check it out. Prada Paradigm, I never checked it out. And the only Prada fragrance I do own in my collection is Prada Luna Rosa EDP. That one is pretty good. Yeah, it could be very situational. Some of my heavier ones are very situational. If I was to, let's say, talk about Mancera, which is a great beginner's fragrance of getting into niche, I would say Black Prestigium. That is a very situational fragrance. It's not for everyone. And if you're into like powdery floral iris and oud in the opening, then that could be your go-to. It's really, really good. But it's not for everyone. You have to really like iris and violet. It's pretty good. What's another one that's very situational from Mancera that I have? Red Tobacco. And what's another one? I sold a few Manceras not long ago to get some others. Eternal Wood. That is not for everyone, but it has this like burnt lotion oud in it, and this like sweet toffee caramel. It's really nice. Silver Blue is really good. Strange scent profile, but it smells fantastic. That one has some really good longevity. I consider that one beast mode. Red Tobacco is beast mode. There's a few others that are beast mode. They're pretty good. Joel, he always comes across a lot of different houses most people don't talk about. He got me into a couple. Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir is probably the only one I actually like. Yes, Intense Cedrat Boisé, that's another good one. I consider Mancera a great place to start if you want to get into exploring niche. They're like beginners level. You could find a lot of them very cheap through discounters where you don't have to spend an arm and a leg Speaking of Mancera, I got to smell some of the new ones that came out this year. Explicit Vanilla and Intense Instant Crush. Very nice. Especially Explicit Vanilla. That's a very nice, smooth, vanillic, gourmand chocolate fragrance. Beautiful stuff. Cinque Terre, yes, that is a very nice one. I have that. Another one that performs very well for me, and I finally got some time to wear it during the fall, and it performs way better, is Fig Me Up. That is a fantastic, phenomenal fragrance by Pierre Montel. He did a fantastic job with that one. Let's see, another one, even though it doesn't perform very well, and it's designer by Valentino. We got Valentino Umo EDT. If you like something that's slightly gourmand but not overly sweet, but still noticeable, that's got a nice roasted coffee bean, and it's got, I think, some tobacco in here. It's pretty good fragrance, slightly gourmand, pretty sweet. I like it, I enjoy it, and that's about it with that one. It's not beast mode, but it'll get the job done. And we got, let's see here. That's pretty much it. I got other fragrances I'll probably talk during my next live, when I'm live again. But I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. But it's cutting into my workout time. Well, yeah, all the Jean-Paul Gaultiers are overly hyped. It happens. But they're just too synthetic to me. I have Paradise Garden. I think I've worn it a few times this year, but ever since I've been getting into other fragrances, I ended up getting into different stuff. I like the Le Male Elixir. I haven't checked out Le Male Elixir Absolute, but you know what? I probably won't, because all they're doing is spin-offs off their line. I would like to see new lines. I would like to see a new line from like Chanel, Jean-Paul Gaultier, but they're never going to do it because, I don't know. What does this guy suggest? Hey, man, come on. No spamming over here. I am not having all that spamming going on. I don't really care for the Le Beau EDT that much. I like the Le Beau Parfum. But, you know, like I said, there is far other fragrances that last way longer than those that I would tend to reach for. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys tapping in, listening to me talk about some fragrances that we all love. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember to smell your best. But I am going to head out. I got some things I got to do. Unless, well, I got one other person that would like to say hi. He's in the fragrances as well. If you want to hear from him, this is my brother, Mo Gotti, and he's got some pretty good knowledge on some fragrances. So, what was your scent of the day?
Imagination.
Well, he likes Louis Vuitton fragrances as well. And he's the one who got me into Louis Vuitton. But, you know, I'd figure I would try to get him earlier, but he had some other things going on. But at least he made a little appearance, but I will try and get him on a full live. But this is his go-to. Imagination by Louis Vuitton. That's his kind of stuff.
Unique, aromatic, fresh. That tea scent is like nothing else that you find anywhere.
Yeah. You know? I'm gonna let my brother sit down for a bit.
Oh, I got a popsicle.
But he'll give you a rundown what he thinks a Louis Vuitton fragrance is.
I mean, my personal opinion is Louis Vuitton has the best scents out there. Jack Cavalier, big fan of them. But with Imagination, it's just, that tea scent is just beautifully done. There's nothing else like it. Anytime I wear it, I get compliments. But with the Louis Vuitton line, I feel like they do a very good job of spreading out their versatility and not leaning towards one thing or the other. And that's why I tend to buy a lot of them. I own 13 of them to be exact. Where, you know, my brother buys a lot more of a variety, where I try to stay to like one, you know, person. Like I said, Jack Cavalier. But yeah, if you guys haven't got this, I would definitely get it. I would start with this one in their line, definitely. This or L'Immensité. I mean, they're icons. They're beautifully done. L'Immensité has a beautiful grapefruit that's perfectly blended throughout it. But yeah, I just wanted to stop in and say hi to you guys. I know I've never came on here. Big Cologne collector. But yeah, LVs, get them. I'm telling you, can't go wrong.
Well, there you go. You heard my brother. He gave his own P's and Q's and told you what he thought about Louis Vuitton. Until next time, I will probably be live maybe tomorrow. All depends. I got other agendas going on. But I'll definitely be live more often, once, twice a week. Until next time, guys, smell your best out there. Stay safe. God bless. Peace.